Welcome back to the next installment of crimenet news, all you Payday fans out there. Let's get right into the meat of this juicy week.
We have news about the next Payday collab, a possible hint towards how many DLCs we'll be getting after the first year of content, and when Boys in Blue might be coming, as well as so much more.
Let's start off with the update news. As I'm sure all of you are aware, 1.1.4 came out on Wednesday this week with much praise. The progression update has given the game some major progress towards the light, as much of it has been met with so much praise.
We have the progression overhaul, which allows for stealth and loud bonuses, per bag IP and extra IP for all bags. This update feels great and has brought back the need to really get it all, as a full haul in Golden Shark on Overkill nets over 2,000 IP for an easy level up. And while you level up, make sure to get some use out of the new spray paint patterns from each level.
If you want to see the numbers for all of the IP values per heist, there's a link to a spreadsheet in the description below. While you're playing these heists, enjoy the new stealth and loud modifiers, not to mention the addition to all heists getting the techie. Some great additions that change things up, but some of the loud modifiers do seem to be causing some minor controversy in the community. The assassin skill line also came out, good for marking and silencers with a little bit of a grinder light. Some people seem to indicate it's amazing and others not so much, so why not take it for a spin and decide for yourself?
Mask of the Week has also started, and the first week is going to Waifu Mask, unsurprisingly. They did mention that since dailies were delayed, the price of the mask is at 100 credits instead of 200. But its undiscounted price of 400 seems a bit steep. Maybe dailies will tide over the difference and increase our coin gain. As for the week part, Mio did mention that the mask is currently on for 2 rotations since the update came out in the middle of it. So, the mask will be up for 11 days, not 7.
There was also some minor silent nerfs. As far as we know, the DLC weapon ammo pickup count has been decreased. This does change per attachment, so some have gained and some have not. We advise taking a look at the description for more details.
Although it's not all good, there are still some major game-breaking bugs. Currently, people are still unable to unlock some recent level-locked content. PS5 being unable to interact without exact precision, and some shots seemingly hitting an invisible wall. But the PS5 issues were hot-fixed Friday. Although the update was an amazing step, the lack of quality control in some things did leave a bit of a little taste in some people's mouths.
After this update came out, Mio was also spotted playing privately with some friends on his own stream. Now, we do ask that you do not bombard them with questions on their private stream, as this is their getaway from work. But while streaming, they did talk a little bit about the modifiers and its implementation.
Discussions about making modifiers optional. I feel like we've talked about things to bypass modifiers, but the concern is if we add that, then people just won't even engage with the modifiers at all. So what we're doing is we're gonna add long term that the rotations are much shorter than bi-weekly, much shorter, and something we'll probably do long term, as in kind of long term, because we don't have an estimate for it, is if certain modifiers are really problematic and difficult, we will have payout bonuses on them. So it's like, oh, this modifier is really hard, so we'll just make it give you 20% extra payout or something like that. But there's no estimate for that. That's just something we're just discussing right now.
So it sounds like the idea was to make it similar to Payday 2 modifiers. It was discussed, but they dismissed it. What do you guys think about that decision?
Included in this update was some interesting leaks. If you want to skip this, just follow the timestamp to our right. Onto the leaks itself, there are 2 either scrapped or upcoming modifiers that they haven't talked about or shown. One is the loud modifier of 3 up arrows, and the other is the stealth modifier of what appears to be Wi-Fi signals coming out of the skull. Any speculation on either of these we would love to hear about in the comments below.
On to another aspect, some interesting menu strings were found. One is talking about upgrade account. Now, this could come with some heat, as we're unsure what this could mean, but we'd like to remind you that these leaks could very well be used for back-end, scrapped, or something like that to be renamed.
Another talks about a game modes menu, and this one is an interesting one, because it could be a returning game mode like Crime Spree or Holdout, or a completely no one. Devs did mention in the past of wanting to make a Crime Spree-like mode in Payday 3, so eventually maybe this will have that.
The last to nobody's surprise is strings for the gold loot bags. So the infamous gold bullion is back on the table, ladies and gentlemen. Or off the table, so to speak.
Payday's first official collab has just been leaked as well, but this time it wasn't leaked from Payday. Rainbow Six Siege, with its notorious leakers, have leaked 2 outfits. One for Zero as Dallas, and one for Romai as Chains. As for what holds for Payday 3, we don't know. Almir hummed on stream when asked about it, and when asked if the crossover would be the bank from Rainbow Six Siege, he responded with, and I quote, "Oh, Rainbow Six does have a bank, doesn't it?
Also, it's kind of a shame the other characters aren't getting a skin in Siege. I could easily see Maverick getting a Wolf skin, Ace getting a Hoxton skin, or even a Zombie with a Joy skin. Hopefully the crossover makes both companies a good chunk of change to encourage collaborations in the future.
We'll take a minor break from the news and let's talk about the community before moving on to the future DLC talk. We'll start off with our Payday 2 clip from Sick Snake 69.
Rumor. Go! 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 Someone clip this! We did it! Someone clip this! Someone clip this! Oh my god!
That man has a big dick!
Clip it! We fucking did it! We did it! We did it! We did it!
Honestly, the hardest achievement I've ever done in Payday 2, stealthing Firestarter Day 1. A crazy feat, and congrats to the two of you for completing that.
Now next is for Payday 3, and we have a clip coming to us from Mario in a top hat.
Oh, there goes the techie, by the way. What? Why did I just say thanks? I got kicked in the head by a bulldozer. What the fuck is going on? Thanks. Hey, thanks.
I mean, sometimes you just... Thank you, sir. Can I have another?
Mod of the week this week goes to first Payday L. It's a port of the Payday 3 unlockable masks into Payday 2. One of my favorite parts of Payday 3 was its mask designs, so it's a very great mod.
As for Payday 3, with the introduction of the new skill line, comes an update to the Useful Descriptions mod from Senpai Killer Fire. This mod adds stats to the descriptions, allowing you to know just exactly what each skill does. Please, STARBREEZE, for the love of God, add this to the game. The big hitter for this week is the DLC. A recent interview with the STARBREEZE and Tyrum CEO Mats Jewell on Indira's TV, a Finnish-based stock news channel. The interview went over STARBREEZE and its future for both Payday and Baxter. While there's no English subtitles initially, we have a rough translation from my Norwegian mod LMR.
In their interview, Mats confirmed Boys in Blue, the infamous DLC with many gifts created from the community, has a release window of June. That's right, June.
I närtid så har vi ju release av en DLC här nu under juni månad i tanken, och vi har också 2 ytterligare DLC:er fram till september som ska släppas.
And also the following 2 DLCs are still slated to come out before the end of September.
När vi säger att vi kommer att se förbättringar från Q3 och framåt, så skulle jag säga att man behöver ha lite grann tålamod för att se effekten av de förbättringar som vi gör. Spelarna måste hinna ta till sig det innehållet som vi släpper ut och hinna testa banorna som vi släpper ut. Så att det är klart att det som släpps i slutet på juni, det kommer vi inte se förrän tydligt in i Q3, vilken effekt det har. Och sen ytterligare så kommer det ju som sagt mer innehåll då under Q3 också.
STARBREEZE expects the game to pick up sales following August. We've heard of a summer roadmap coming from the partners, so I'm sure this is what they expect. when completed, to bring back as much of the community as possible.
And if you listen carefully, he talks about more content in Q3, which we actually have a confirmation of how many DLCs that actually is.
Som sagt, nu kommer ytterligare här under sommaren då, ytterligare. Och efter sommaren 3 DLC till.
Now this doesn't mean that is the end of the game after those 3 DLCs are released, just that they have 3 more DLCs planned for the end of the 18-month cycle that PlayOn paid for. STARBREEZE still wants to extend the life of the game for years to come still.
And as for Project Baxter, there was minor talk about it in the interview. STARBREEZE is working on procedures to ensure that the launch of the game will not follow in the same footsteps as Payday 3. They're also expecting similar sales with the fact that the D&D community is a bit bigger than the Payday community.
That's all we have for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in for this week's crimenet news. Make sure to keep those helmets flying, and we'll keep crimenet informed of all things Payday and STARBREEZE.